You're watching this because you've done the thing. You cleaned up your food. You cut the sugar. You tried low carb, maybe keto. Maybe you flirted with carnivore. And yet, the scale looks at you like, that's cute. But here's what I want you to understand today. Sometimes the reason you're not losing weight isn't because you're eating too much. It's because your body quietly turned the furnace down. And if you've ever felt like you're doing all the right things, but you're colder, more tired, hungrier, craving weird stuff, moving less without noticing, and losing weight slower than your friend who eats like a raccoon, that's not you being broken. That's your biology doing what it was designed to do, protect you. So today, we're talking about the weight loss thermostat. Not calories in, calories out. Not just try harder. We're talking about why the body sometimes decides fuel is precious, we're conserving. And the best part, once you understand the thermostat, you stop blaming yourself and you start fixing the signal. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Dr. Tony Hampton, a board-certified family and obesity medicine physician. And my job is to help you find the root cause, because shame is not a treatment plan. All right, let's get into it. Here's the metaphor. Your metabolism isn't a campfire you can force bigger by yelling at it. It's more like your house, and there's a thermostat. When the thermostat senses danger, real or perceived, it turns the furnace down. And if you keep trying to out-discipline a thermostat, you'll feel like you're dieting in quicksand. So what does furnace down look like? Let me paint the picture. You're eating less, but you're also more tired, more food-focused, less spontaneous movement. You sit more, fidget less, more cravings, worse sleep, colder hands and feet, stalled weight loss, and sometimes you even gain weight while being good. That's the thermostat. And one reason this topic hits so hard is because people think metabolism is one number, like a car's speed. But metabolism is more like a whole dashboard, and your body can reduce energy burn in ways you don't even notice. This is one of the most underrated weight loss facts. Your body can quietly spend fewer calories without asking your permission. It can lower NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Your fidgeting, posture changes, pace, errands, thyroid signaling, conversion of T4 to T3, and how sensitive tissues are to that signal. Sympathetic tone, the go signal, and even reduce reproductive hormone signaling as a survival move. So if you've ever said, I'm eating less but I'm not losing, the missing sentence might be, and my body is also burning less. Now, here's the part most people miss. What controls that thermostat? Well, what's the sensor that tells your brain we're safe? Or we're in famine. There is a hormone that acts like a messenger between your energy stores and your brain. And when it works well, your brain gets the message. We have enough fuel. We can relax. But when it doesn't work well, even with plenty of stored fuel, your brain can behave like you're running out, which means more hunger, less burn, more conservation. This is where most weight loss plans fail. They treat the body like a math problem instead of a survival system. So let me give you a story I see all the time. A patient starts dieting hard. They're proud. They're disciplined. They skip breakfast, tiny lunch, hearty dinner, but they're constantly thinking about food. They're irritable. They stop taking the stairs. They stop going on evening walks. They rest more. Then one night they break. They eat. And the next day they say, I have no willpower. No, you have a thermostat response. Your brain didn't interpret the diet as summer shred. It interpreted it as possible famine. And when famine hits, the body doesn't say, wow, amazing discipline, let's burn fat faster. It says, protect the organism. Now, I'm going to name the hormone, but I wanted you to feel the problem first, because once you name it, you realize this isn't about being weak. It's about signal clarity. The hormone is leptin. Leptin is made primarily by fat cells. Think of leptin like your body's fuel gauge signal to the brain. In a simple world, more stored energy leads to more leptin, leads to brain gets message, leads to appetite down, burn up. Less stored energy leads to less leptin, leads to brain gets message, leads to appetite up, burn down. That's the design. But here's the plot twist. Many people struggling with weight gain have high leptin and still feel hungry, still have cravings, still plateau, which sounds insane until you realize it's not a leptin shortage, it's a leptin reception problem. That's leptin resistance. high leptin, but the brain acts like leptin is low. And when the brain senses low leptin signaling, it flips into conservation mode. Furnace down. Now, why would the brain ignore leptin? This is where we get into the lesser known stuff. Most people in the low-carb world know insulin matters, but fewer people talk about leptin as the control knob for the set point, the natural weight your body tries to defend. Here are the big reasons leptin signaling gets messy. Number 1, inflammation in the hypothalamus. Your hypothalamus is the control center for appetite and energy expenditure. Chronic inflammation can interfere with signaling there. So leptin is knocking, but the door is sticky. This is why ultra-processed foods can create a weird situation. You're overfed, but under-signaled. Number 2, sleep deprivation. One bad night can shift appetite regulation and make the body behave like it needs more energy. Not because you're weak, because the brain interprets sleep loss as stress and risk makes the thermostat conservative. Number 3, repeated crash dieting. When you diet aggressively, leptin drops. And leptin drops fast, often before much fat loss even happens. So your brain says, uh-oh, fuel is disappearing. And it responds by increasing hunger, decreasing energy burn, making food more rewarding. That's the plateau with anger phase. You're not failing. Your brain is trying to save you. Number 4, insulin and leptin crosstalk. Yes, insulin matters here too. Insulin can influence leptin production and signaling pathways. So for some people, improving insulin dynamics helps leptin sensitivity over time. And here's the key. Even if you improve insulin, if your leptin signaling is still jammed by poor sleep, stress, inflammation, or constant dieting, you can still feel stuck. Now let's make this practical. How do you turn the furnace back up without just yelling at your body? You don't negotiate with a thermostat by screaming. You fix the sensor. Here are 6 moves that help your body feel safe enough to burn. Number 1, stop starving your protein. Protein is not the enemy of fat loss. Protein protects lean muscle, and lean muscle is metabolically expensive. If you diet in a way that sacrifices muscle, your furnace gets smaller. The goal isn't just weight loss, it's fat loss while protecting your engine. Number 2, use carbs strategically, not emotionally. Some people do great very low carb. Some people do better with a targeted approach. I do best as a carnivore. But either way, the goal is stable signaling, not chasing dopamine. If carbs make you ravenous, it's not the tool. If a small strategic amount supports sleep and training for some people, that can help leptin signaling indirectly. And of course, carnivore for some. The key is this: no carb chaos. Number 3, build in metabolic calm. High stress tells the brain, danger. And danger says, conserve. This is why the same diet works in vacation mode but fails in emails at midnight mode. Stress management isn't soft, it's metabolic. Number 4, sleep like it matters because it does. If you want the thermostat to trust you, you need consistent sleep. Same bedtime, dark room, cool room, morning light. And please don't chug water before bed unless you enjoy nighttime bathroom cardio. Number 5, lift something heavy on purpose. Resistance training signals. We need this muscle, and that pushes the body away from conservation. It also improves nutrient partitioning, meaning food is more likely to go to muscle repair than fat storage. Number 6, don't confuse more restriction with more progress. If the scale isn't moving, most people do the exact wrong thing. They eat even less. That can drop leptin signaling further and push the furnace down more. Sometimes the real play is tighten food quality, stabilize protein, improve sleep, reduce stress load, keep strength training, and let the thermostat recalibrate. Now, let me land this with something important. If you've been blaming yourself, stop. The body isn't trying to embarrass you. It's trying to protect you. But once you understand leptin, this fuel gauge to brain signal, you can stop fighting your biology and start working with it. And that's the real set point conversation. Not just eat less, but fix the signals that tell your brain it's safe to burn. And always protect your health like it's your legacy, because it is.